I'm here today in beautiful downtown Victoria visiting the BC Provincial Parliament buildings. I'm here to take a journey back through the history of early BC and to take a look at the legacy it's left. Right here in downtown Victoria are some of the most stunning buildings you will probably ever see. The mix of old architecture and beautiful nature truly makes this a great place to come see. However, this place isn't just full of beauty. There is a very rich history that goes all the way back into the 1800s. Victoria is the capital of British Columbia, Canada, and is located on Vancouver Island. The bit of water that runs between the two is called the Georgia Strait. When the Georgia Strait is at its narrowest point, the island is only 25 kilometers away from mainland. Let's now travel all the way back to 1842. A man named James Douglas was tasked with finding new forts for the Hudson's Bay Fur Company. He quickly found the land where Victoria is now and decided to set up a fort here. The fort was built in 1843, and in 1849, Vancouver Island had become popular enough to become a British Crown colony. Since James Douglas had been the person to find the place originally, he was appointed governor. In 1856, gold was first discovered in BC, which grew the population like mad. There were tons of people coming in from all across the world to get this globe. Since all the people had to have somewhere to stay, James Douglas put lots of people in Vancouver Island. Then, Frederick Seymour suggested that Vancouver Island joins the rest of BC. And so later that year, the two colonies joined together to become the British Columbia we know today. A big question lots of people ask nowadays: why is Vancouver not the capital of BC? It seems like the obvious choice since it's the biggest built-up city and has major tourism. But the reason goes all the way back to 1868. After the two colonies of Vancouver Island and BC joined each other, the capital was automatically given to New Westminster. Frederick Seymour, the person who suggested combining the two, was appointed governor of this land and decided to hold a vote to allow people's opinions. The results of this vote came in and the clear winner was Victoria, as at the time it was the biggest city in BC. Seymour, not wanting the capital to be on the island, held another vote. The vote ended up with the same outcome, and so therefore Victoria became the official capital of BC. In 1867, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia joined together to form Confederation. Lots of people are surprised to find out BC wasn't a part of that. After Vancouver Island and BC joined each other, they sent a delegation to Ottawa with a list of their demands if BC were to join Canada. This list included a responsible provincial government, economic aid, debt concessions, and a major transport link to the rest of Canada. Then, sure enough, construction for the Canadian Pacific Railway began in 1881. Once this list was approved, the provincial parliament was put in these buildings called the bird cages. After many years of using these, Victoria decided they needed nicer ones. So, there was a contest held for architects to design the new parliament buildings. A man named Francis Rattenbury won the contest and started building. Construction then finished in 1897. Many people thought of the buildings as too showy and unnecessarily detailed. However, after time, they became more and more accepted. Slowly, this government started taking more and more responsibilities. In 1902, the first political parties were introduced to this government, the two being Conservative and Liberal. The Vancouver Island Parliament plays a major role in the making of BC and has extreme significance. Since our previous governments were so fair, it allows our current one to be so inclusive. I 100% recommend making a trip out here to Victoria, BC to do some learning for yourself. As although Victoria may not be a great big city, it is still a remarkable home to some of the most fascinating buildings